of Inspiration, Lauren Gartland, and I'm here to give you your weekly dose of inspiration. And I'm so glad that you're joining us today. And let me just say, the favorite person on the entire planet is sitting next to me today. The love of my life, my best friend, my soulmate, and my husband, Mr. Todd Roberts, that I love more than anything on the whole planet besides God. I'm going to put God first and Todd second.
Good job.
And so today, you get to find out about our life, about our marriage, how we've created such a sustainable and amazing relationship. And so I'm going to turn it over to one of my other favorite people who's going to be the host interviewing us today, Mrs. Beautiful, amazing, $1 billion smile, Shawnee Brown. Thanks, Sean, for being with us.
Oh my gosh. Okay. First of all, there's no place I'd rather be on a Friday than having a cup of Lauren. It is my weekly shot of inspiration. And anytime I get to talk to you, I'm inspired. But today, Lauren, the joy of my week is knowing that I get to sit down and learn what it is to be a championship, what it means to be a championship couple from the people that I admire the most as a couple. I just want to take a little minute, if I can, if you'll let me, watching the two of you navigate your relationship is just like watching Joe Montana throw a pass right on the money to Jerry Rice. The way that Todd knows you and anticipates your movements and your needs, and the way that you honor him, it's masterful to watch. It is impressive, and I want so badly for my relationship to mirror this. It's exquisite. Um, so can I say thank you for being a tremendous role model for us?
Well, thank you for that acknowledgement. And what is just always so surprising to Todd and I is people tell us this all the time. And we just are so in love with each other. We're always like little 16-year-olds together. And,
Mm.
but there's a reason for that. Nothing just happens in life. You have to make it happen, and you have to know what you're committed to. And that's always been very, very important to us. Wouldn't you say so, Mr. Todd Roberts?
Absolutely. And on a side note, your little comment about Joe Montana and Jerry Rice brings back one of my fondest memories of when we first met. And I think it was the moment I decided she was the one.
Well, my gosh, that was only our third date.
I know. But
wow, I won him over fast.
We had gone out to dinner, and we had had some to-go food to come with, and one of them was a dinner roll that was shaped like a football. And so when we get back to my condo downtown San Diego, Lauren had parked her car in the underground, and I was, saying goodbye to her, and she was getting ready to get in her car, and I said, "Hey, you know what?" I said, "Let me show you how far I can throw this dinner roll," or some comment like, "What do you mean?"
Well, he was a quarterback in college.
I was a quarterback.
Okay, that makes so my Joe Montana.
Yeah.
So I said, so here's Lauren in her high heels, right, looking awesome.
4-inch high heels, by the way.
She hikes the dinner roll to me, and she goes out for a pass.
I remember, he was behind me, and I was like feeling like his hands were getting a little too close to areas they shouldn't have been.
Not on the third date.
So
but I hiked the dinner roll.
So then she did an out and up pattern. I had to tell her what that was, but she did an out and up pattern. This is in the underground parking. I throw the dinner roll. It's spiraling through the underground, probably about 25 yards. That's about as far as you can throw a dinner roll, I think. And she catches it and raises her hands up, touchdown.
That's
and
right.
I was like, that's it. She's the one.
That's the woman for you.
It was that easy. I just had to catch dinner roll.
So the next time that we go out together, can we play dinner roll football?
Sure. Oh, absolutely. We have shopping cart racing contests, you name it. We're all about having fun. We have a lot of fun.
Every time I'm around you, I have fun. I mean, even when I'm mad at you, I'm having fun with you. Everything is fun.
That takes talent.
I do everything by the 4 M's: mission, motives, methods, and metrics. That is how I get things done. That's how I move forward in my life. So before we got into this interview, when I knew I was going to do this, I asked you because there had to be a formula to making something this great. Can you tell me the mission statement for the Gartland Roberts household or Roberts household? What's the mission statement for
Well,
this
I'll
marriage?
let Todd tell you because you can call him any time of day and it's etched on his heart. But it was really important to us at the beginning of our relationship. I was at an age, this is my first husband. I was not looking for a boyfriend. I was not looking to move in and play house. I was not looking to casually date. I was looking for my husband. And I was not going to waste any time. And just really quick into a relationship, I think we just knew we were the ones for each other. And so we created our mission statement. So, Todd, you want to share with her what our mission statement is?
Absolutely. As we all know, we're all, for the most part, when we're younger and we're growing up, we're all chasing love, trying to find that partner that we're
Yeah.
going to fall in love with. And it happens for some, and for some, maybe it doesn't.
Right.
And for us, once we knew that we wanted to be together and, we spent so much time together, we came from similar backgrounds back in the Midwest. We came up with a mission statement of, how are we going to grow our relationship? And it was to fall more and more in love every day, to pursue that on a daily basis,
Mm.
and also to create a safe environment,
Like a safe space.
to say anything at any time that was on our heart about our relationship.
Exactly. And we live by that every day. But I know there's, a lot of people that are going to listen to this.
Mhm.
Once you know this is the one, it's important to have a mission, just like it is for a business or a personal mission statement in life, but also for a relationship. What I knew is you have to have a vision, and it can't be in your head. You can't think it, you got to ink it. And so
Mm.
months before I met him, I wrote my vision statement. And the Bible says, where there is no vision, people perish. So do
Yes.
businesses, so do relationships. If you don't have a vision written down on paper, and that is your ideal on paper, it's kind of like going to the grocery store when you are starving and you have no grocery list. It takes a lot longer because you have to go up and down every single aisle. You buy a lot of things you don't want. It takes so much longer. You spend a lot more money and you get home and, 3/4 of the stuff you got are stuff you shouldn't even have. Well, it's
Right.
no different when you're dating. So what we found out is I had my mission statement and I worked very hard on it, and I shared it with 4 people I loved, respected, and valued, and said, I need you to help me see anything missing, because on your vision statement, it's your ideal written down, and anything missing will be left out. So I
Yeah.
went to
Oh, that's good, Lauren.
trust and count on and said, is there anything missing? And it was really exciting to see the things that they caught that were important to me that were not on there. And then I
Mm.
found out that Todd had one. Now his, was it written down?
Wasn't written down. It should have been.
It was etched in his brain.
Etched in
Who's
my
that?
brain.
It was written down. It was 2 pages in an 11 font.
Yeah. But for me, I have this is my second marriage and my
Mhm.
last, final. And in my first marriage, we were together for 21 years. So when you're married to someone for 21 years, you learn what you did well and maybe what you didn't do so well. And so with that, I mean, in my marriage currently with Lauren, she's benefiting from a lot of the things that I
Wow.
do real well
Wow.
in this marriage.
Wow.
And the other
That's
difference
big.
is,
That's huge what you just said.
yeah, it's a shame that marriage and growing together isn't taught in schools or somewhere. You really have to go seek it out somewhere to find it. But it would be great if people could learn more as they're younger.
Mm.
Oh, I have a
Well, you
question.
need good role models. And I can tell you, I did not have role models. I didn't even have a father, and my mother
Oh,
was certainly not a role model of what love was. And so, for me, getting into a relationship, and that's probably why I waited so long. We just celebrated on July 12th. We just celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary. And hands down, the scariest but the greatest decision of my life.
mm,
People would say to me, "Do you love being married?" And my answer is, I love being married to Todd Roberts.
yes.
He's the one. People always ask me, why didn't you get married sooner? Well, I could have. I was engaged 3 times and called all off in the early stages because I knew in my heart and in my mind, I knew they were not the one. That they would always be special to me. They would always be great friends, but it wasn't who God wanted me to spend my life with. And I think too many people sell out because they're afraid of being alone. They'd
Mm,
rather be the wrong person than, God forbid, spend any time alone. Well, I became very comfortable with being alone. I realized that I had gotten into my whole life was almost filled with all the wrong men, very
mm,
abusive mentally,
mm,
physically. And I realized that in order to change that pattern, I needed to change, or I would just continue this cycle of attracting the wrong people. And it was really my upbringing. It was a duplicate of that. And so basically, I took 5 years where I didn't date, and I had to fall in love with Lauren. I
yeah.
had to learn to love Lauren for who I was and who I wasn't. I had to learn to love my wounded child. I had to realize that in my life, all the men I had attracted were individuals that I always could fix. In my mind, I can
Mm,
fix them. And what I realized is when I wrote my vision statement, I realized this is not going to be someone I want to fix. This is
mm,
He's
mm,
not going to be perfect, but he's going to be perfect for me. He'll be perfect for me, and it's not going to be perfect. Life isn't. Nothing is. But I'll tell you what we have, I don't know if you can get any more closer to perfect. We don't have fights.
mm. Well, what do you attribute that to? Because there's so many things there's jingling in my head as you're talking. But what do you attribute that to? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I keep going back to the fact that you both came to the table with a mission statement.
Yep.
So you already are mission focused people. So that means you picked well. And then secondly, you had to be willing to compromise, right? Was there compromise when you came together to put your combined mission statement together? What was that experience like?
The only compromise we had is I'm Irish, and she wanted to marry an Italian man. So that's the biggest compromise.
That was.
But both of them start with the letter I. So
But luckily, it wasn't on my deal breaker list.
Right.
I have
Right.
the deal
Luckily.
breaker. So that was not on there. That's right. I'm a wannabe Italian. So I always thought the only way I'll be Italian is to marry one. And so I didn't. So I'm just going to believe that I am. But if you ask, have we ever had to compromise?
Yeah.
Again, I think
I can't think of any.
two, I'm going to say, I can't think.
Uh-oh. She just went away. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say. She's just gone. And we're live. I don't know what happened. Well, I guess I have to keep going because LG's gone. So I guess I'll continue couple Lauren and talk about the heart and mindset of a championship couple. I'm really excited about our heart and mindset series. I don't know if you guys saw last week or the week before, But we started testing out this cup of Lauren, and we chose to start it with the heart and mindset of a champion because it is desperately needed right now. It is that thing that it is that thing that it pushes us up and over that hump. The first video that we're going to release from the Heart and Mindset of a Champion series is the heart and mindset of the individual, because it starts with you. It starts with you as the person. It starts with me. And that first key of awareness is crucial. It's vital to making anything work. So, yes, we're talking about a championship team and a championship couple, but that championship team and couple cannot become champions without a championship you. So it is like my greatest pleasure to open the door, especially for people that are in the beauty industry, because I think that we are the heart and soul of every community. And as such, we should be the picture of beauty and the picture of health. But because we take care of so many people, we tend to put ourselves last. And if there's any, just the women on here, women and moms, you'll know that. So add on the fact that you're a total caretaker, right? You're a total caretaker, and then you're a caretaker for work. That's why we made Heart and Mindset of a Champion. When I went through those keys, rest was vital. Most of us don't get any rest. Lauren and I are complete go getters and work really hard at what we do. And I promise you, that was the toughest key. I also want to assure you that when we are sharing with you, when we are teaching you, we live this lifestyle. It is not something, heart and mindset isn't some title that we came up with. I even told her, I said, wow, this is a big title that we're about to walk out. We're going to say it. That means we have to live it. So, when you watch these and you hear us talking about those keys, here she comes. When you hear us talking about those keys, recognize that we are living them, and the awareness that you need to possess the heart and mindset of a champion is everything. Well, here's my couple back. So let me get back to my business. I can't keep talking to you. Okay. Lauren, Todd, you back? Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Sorry, we're having audio issues. Heart and mindset of a champion, we can overcome every challenge. It's amazing. This is one of those challenges. You might have to go back out and come back in the studio or test your mic. Yeah, no audio on your side. Should I sing? Because you're interrupting my conversation with our guests. Anyway, I'm going to go back and talk to them while you guys work that out. But heart and mindset of a championship team, heart and championship couple, um, heart and championship coach. It takes awareness, self awareness of who you are, who you were created to be, what your mission, your motives, your methods, and your metrics are. Hold on. My people are back. Let me see if I can hear them, and then I'll talk to you about mission, motive, methods, metrics if I can't talk to them. Okay, so we still have no audio. So I'm going to keep talking. So those mission, motive, methods, metrics, they apply to everything that a heart and mind a champion would need. The mission, it's your address. It tells you exactly where you're going. So it's amazing. I coach and I do coaching groups like 5 days a week almost. And the first thing that we do in our rebooted growth and development groups, can we hear you now? No. The first thing we do, yeah, no audio. The first thing we do in our rebooted growth and development tracks is we get right down to that mission. That mission gives us an address, and it is also one of the most difficult things to do, because just because you write it down, just because you make a vision board, oh, I'm gone, Dre, and it's only them. It's them that we're completely gone. It says me. I don't have any idea what is happening today. Oh my gosh. I don't see myself. Oh, I don't even understand what's happening. Anyway, I'm going to go back to what I was saying. But the first key being awareness. It's vital that you understand who you are, where you're going. The second is motives. Why are you doing what you're doing? In this case, we're talking about marriage. Why are you married? Why are you with the person that you're with? Why do you want to be married? The whys are so vital because they help you understand if at the end of this journey you're going to be happy and satisfied. It helps you to weather the storms. If I know I'm in it and I'm supposed to be in it and my motives are in alignment, I can push through anything. But when I'm foggy on my mission and unclear on my motives, it is a recipe for disaster. Third key is your methods. What are your methods for success? What were you created to do? How were you created to show up? So if you're in a relationship that forces you to be less than what you were created to be, who you were created to be, if you're in a relationship and you're having to twist and the thing that makes you light up you can't do, then you have to go back and look at those, your mission and your motives. Why aren't they in alignment? Because by the time you get to methods, it's just like, boom, I want to do this. Boom, I want to do that. Boom, I want to go here. I want to go there. And it should be in alignment with the person that you're with. And lastly, is the metrics. Those are our numbers. That's how we determine the success. Am I continuing in the same cycles of dysfunction? Am I ending up in the same places? Am I in the same stupid fights? Those are metrics, or as I love to call it, fruit. A lot of times we can fake metrics. We can fake metrics in photos. We can fake metrics by how we dress and appear, our jobs. All of those things are fake metrics. But you know how you know when your metrics are real? By how your heart feels. That's why we call this heart and mindset of a champion, because your mindset and your heart are one. So if in my mind I'm fuzzy and unclear, and if in my heart I'm anxious, then I'm not in alignment with my four M's: my mission, my motive, my methods, and my metrics. It's vital. It's vital what I'm saying, that you really and truly understand yourself. Heart and mindset of a champion is only one of the growth and development tracks I created for rooted and rebooted. The first one is Project You. And Project You is about being the best player. So when I come into my relationship, if I come into my relationship, like Lauren was saying, she didn't get married early. She quit 3 times, but she quit 3 times because she wasn't a player that was ready for the level of commitment that a marriage is. So she knew within herself, I can't do this. I'm not going to be beneficial to the team. I can't help the team win. By understanding who you are, all the places in which your growth and development may have been hindered, um, all of those things are vital before we enter into a relationship. That's why we put Project You first. The second key, the second area of growth and development is your emotional space. And we call that the root system reboot. You heard Lauren, if you were on, mention that when she was young, when she was a child, there was things that weren't developed or nurtured either from her mother or from her father, or there were things maybe that happened in the home. All of those areas that get nicked as we're coming up, those are areas that impact us not only mentally, but they impact us in the 7 key areas of growth and development. And that is spiritually. It impacts us mentally, it impacts us emotionally. Yeah, no, no, still no audio. Still no audio. I don't know, but I'm having a great couple Lauren conversation. You're going to love this. But it impacts us in all of those ways. The 7 keys, the first one spiritually, the second one emotionally, the third one mentally, the fourth one physically, the fifth one relationally. I want to talk about these 5 keys before I go to the other 2 because there's 7. The first one, spiritually is your connection. It's like your root into the earth. It's like being a tree with no root if you don't have spiritual connection. And I don't care. I don't know what you call spirit. I love Jesus. Leads me spiritually. I don't know who that is for you, but we are spiritual beings living an earthly experience. So if you don't have that spiritual connection,
It
it's
has to
very
be one
difficult.
of them.
Hello.
Can you hear
Hallelujah!
us?
Yay! Yeah,
Oh. Wow.
I
I think
can't hear Sean though.
we can't hear you, Sean.
Shut the front door. Are you kidding me?
You got to bring that Bose back.
Shut the front doors.
Okay, so they can't hear me now. We can
Well,
hear
I
them.
can't hear you. Todd's going to grab something, but we think that this is what life looks like when you think it's working.
Right?
We're going down the road of life. It's a smooth ride, and bam. Okay, now we're bringing out all the bells and whistles here.
Yeah, but you
So
know
now
what?
now we can hear you. We brought our Bose back in here.
Perfect. Can you hear me?
I can. And you know, Sean, the one thing there's a million things I love about you, but I'm sure you just took the torch and ran with it. You
Oh
probably
my
have
God.
entertained everyone else. I want to thank all of these people who are wondering what happened to the firecracker. So, hey, I don't know where we were, but what do you want to know?
I can
Well,
tell you
let me
what
just say,
happened.
I was literally talking about the 7 keys of growth and development, and how if you are not an intact player, then your relationship cannot function well. That's what we were talking about.
Well, that is for sure. You got that one down. Tell them to let you fix that.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
good. Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
that's what we were talking about. And I was actually talking about you, Lauren, in that, you were able to identify your broken pieces before coming into your marriage, and you were willing to wait. And I
Oh,
think
absolutely.
that is a testament to the person that you are, that you're saying, look, I got broken pieces. I'm not going to crap all over somebody else. What inside of you, knew I'm not ready for this commitment?
On the ones I broke off,
Yeah. How did you know?
it was
What was
just,
the sign?
well, I remember the last person I was engaged to, I did a pro and a con list. And when I was done with the pro, we were supposed to go spend Easter with his family. And I said, no, I'm not going to go. It was like this feeling inside of me that something was wrong. And I stayed home and I did my pro and con list. We call it the Benjamin Franklin list. And all you put on the left side, everything that absolutely you love about this person. And then there's always going to be things that just don't work for you. But on a pro and con list, the writing's on the wall. You can't escape it. And I have my clients do it for just about anything in their life. I do it for everything. I recommend it to anyone, anywhere. But it clearly, I knew that if I moved forward, that I would make a mistake, that I would sell out, because I would have again gone back to my pattern of depended on fixing this. And I remember I went to one of my best friends and I said to her, I go, look, you know me and you know this individual. Do you think we're supposed to get married? And she gave me the best advice anyone's ever given me. And it's going to help people listening to this, because she said, Lauren, I would never tell you what to do, especially something that important. But she said, let me ask you a question. Can you live with him exactly the way he is right now for the rest of your life? And it took me but a second to go, no. And then I realized I was going back into that pattern of counting on a future of where I would have to fix him to become for me. And I said, nope, and it was the hardest thing I ever did, because, he's always been my best friend. And Todd, they love each other. They got along famously. And, this individual passed away just a year and a half ago. And I have to tell you, I think too many people sell out. And for me, selling out was not an option because of what I do. I teach people every day, do not sell out on your dreams. And I think to be married to the one, to be in a relationship with the one. Anyone can be in a relationship. Anyone can marry anyone. That's not difficult. Being married, being in a relationship with the one, that takes something. It takes commitment. And you know what? I just was unwilling. I was not going to sell out. And I knew that when the time was right, when I was ready, when this other individual, I knew that God would bring us together. And there was absolutely no doubt in either of our minds that the day we met, it was nothing less than a divine appointment. And so I think people sometimes are too desperate. Don't be desperate. It's better to be alone and happy than with the wrong person and unhappy. I think I see in a lot of couples, we all see it. If you're dating someone or if you're in a relationship and there's a lot of struggle and you're arguing a lot, it's not going to get any better. Those are red flags. Those are signs. And it doesn't mean one of you's right, one of you's bad, one of you's wrong. It just means you're not a fit.
You're not a fit.
Like when you go and try on a pair of shoes, you know if that shoe is a fit or not. There's like, you know if you're going to be able to walk a mile in it or an inch in it. And, you know, if you're smart, you don't buy it. Just too many people sell out. I also see and hear in a lot of relationships that people, I'm trying to think how to responsibly say this.
Just say it. It's couple Lauren.
I know. Well, I think what it is when you meet someone, we just see all the great things.
Yes.
We can't see anything wrong with them. But what we all have to realize is at some point, that phase is going to go away and you settle into a normality.
Reality.
And you have to always bring out the best in others. And I think where I'm going to go right now is the key, because we do it for each other. You know, I remember when I met.
Can I ask, because I haven't heard from Todd a lot, and I really want to ask him this question. Todd, what does Lauren bring out in you that no one else has?
Wow,
That's a great question. I think she brings out in me, I would say probably the one thing for sure is I always want her to be so proud of me, and I always want to be the best version of me. And I think that's a big part of it because of, you know, I think it goes back to what Lauren does. You know, Lauren is an inspiration. She wants everybody to live an extraordinary life and not an ordinary life. And she's helping me do that. You are.
Oh my God, Lauren, what does Todd bring out in you? What does he bring out in you that nobody else has ever been able to do?
Oh gosh, there's so many things. I think the thing that meant the most to me is I grew up in a very dysfunctional family. There was a lot of yelling and cursing, and you know, to me, I look at it now, a lot of probably mental abuse. And what was most important to me is in the 13 years since I have met this man, I have never once, never, ever, ever heard him raise his voice. He doesn't curse. He is always fun. He is so easygoing. He inspires me. He brings out the best in me because who he's being is different than what I grew up with and what I always dreamed about, what I always wanted. It started to coincide with the core values that I wanted. You know, as I said earlier, I was always in very dysfunctional relationships. And I know that no matter what, I can trust this man, that he will never cheat on me. He's incapable of lying. If you ask him a question, you had better be prepared for the truth.
For the truth?
He literally is incapable of lying. And so he brings out the best in me in areas where I think I am have been weaker and wanted to strengthen. And I believe we do it for each other. You know, one of the things that means the most to me is every night, all of a sudden he'll look over and he'll get up and he'll come over and he rubs my feet every night. And I say to him, why do you do that? And he looks at me and he goes, because LG, I know it makes you happy.
It does.
And he always tells me, don't you know that I live to make you happy?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
When I travel, I'll get to my hotel room, I'll open up my suitcase, and there's a love letter from him.
Todd, I just want to ask this question because we're going over time, but I just want to ask this question. Who taught you that? Who modeled
That's a
that?
great question. I have never asked him that.
Yeah, who modeled that for you?
You know, I think I can tell you some of it was from a mentor of mine, Charlie Harper.
Are you crying?
Again.
He cries.
I love it.
I love that. He cries all the time.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Charlie was a great man. He was one that always would teach us in our sales, when I worked for him in a sales organization, not to tell lies, because if you tell the truth, you're going to wake up the next day and you'll know exactly what you told somebody. And the last thing you want to do is lie to someone when you're trying to sell them something. So I just carry that over into my life. But I think in my first marriage, I learned something really important. And really, I don't think I was a super selfish person, but I think if you were to ask my kids and my first wife, I probably was a little more selfish about my time playing golf, and I was always working. And so I think, you know, there's a selfish meter from 0 to 10. Back in that relationship, my selfish meter, meaning that I wanted to do what I wanted to go do and, you know, that kind of thing, was probably in the 8 range, a lot of times, if 10's being high. I made sure in my relationship with Lauren that my selfish meter is down near 2.
Right.
Easily. It's not about me. I put her needs and wants first. She does still let me go play some golf because I do love to go do that. But
he comes home happy.
Yeah. But I think that's a big thing. And I think, you know, leaving your ego at the door is another thing. You know, I think so many relationships, people let their egos get in the way a little bit about, you know, one wants to be right over the other. And we don't have that. You know, we're both strong personalities, both very independent. But I think at the end of the day, we respect one another enough and we love our relationship enough to make it work.
That's a key word. Respect.
Respect. Yeah, I respect. And the other thing I heard in that was that champions value what's important.
Yeah.
Champions know what to value. And what I see is you have tremendous value for one another and for the sanctity of your marriage and your relationship.
Yeah.
That you deserve.
Well, you know, what's interesting is when I met Todd, he was going through the most difficult time of his life. He was, if there is such a thing as a gutter, I would say it was probably the point he was at. They had lost their 9-year-old daughter, and that was really the beginning of the end of the marriage and the relationship with his other 2 children. And when I met him, he was in a very low place. No one in his family had ever been divorced. And I remember when I met him, he was just this amazing human being. But as we started dating, I started to watch him lose one thing after another. I saw him lose his, you know, what was it, $1.6 million house on the golf course. I saw him lose his celebrity bus. I saw them come and take away his BMW. And he never got upset. He would just be like, Lauren, he goes, once you lose a child, none of this matters. He never, ever got upset. But while all of this was happening, I kept saying, God, this is not what I signed up for. I don't want someone I'm supposed to fix, remember? And then God was like, no, he is the one, Lauren, and
Mm.
you are going to build him up. And I remember there wasn't a day, there was never ever a day that I didn't pray over him and he didn't even know it.
Mm.
I had to use my coaching skills. I had to use every skill I'd ever learned. And I learned the importance of building people up. I was able to take a broken person emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. He was just broken. And I had to speak life into him every day. I had to see him not for who he was in that moment. I had to see him for who I knew he would become. And he not only became that man, he exceeded it. I knew he had been successful once, and if he could do it once, he could do it again. And so I just had to stay the course. I had to be obedient to what I was being told to do. And and if I had walked away, I would have missed what I think has made us so close, from helping him to get out of the pit of hell and to become the amazing, extraordinary human being that literally, I don't know anyone that doesn't love Todd Roberts. Everywhere we go, everyone loves Todd. We call him Toddy. And he's just a great man. Kathleen, I saw in there where she put, when
producer Kathleen. Well, that's heart and mind of a championship couple. The community's coming. The community's coming. That's what
right.
this is.
Well, you know what? I would say to everyone listening, when you get comfortable in relationship, we stop edifying and building and we start nitpicking and pointing out the little things they're doing wrong. And if you keep doing that, you're breaking someone down. And as hard as it may be, you got to find, there isn't a day that we don't tell each other at least 5 times how much we love each other. That word has to be spoken. We speak life into each other and not death. He has never said a negative thing. There have been days when I've gotten out of bed and I scared myself looking in the mirror.
I knew you were going to say
I'm like, oh my God, who is that? Here's Todd. Todd will walk in and he'll look at me and he'll go,
now her hair is like she stuck her fingers in the light socket.
Okay, I don't want to age myself or anyone, but anyone who remembers Phyllis Diller, it might be similar. But he'll look at me and he'll go, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I saw myself, please. And he's like, Lauren.
But then when you say, what about my hair? I say, oh, your hair's special.
Oh yeah, he can't say a bad thing.
It's
special. He won't say, wow. He'll just go, oh, your hair is special.
It's special.
It's as bad as his bad
as bad as I can be.
But you know, it's important that we stop focusing on what's wrong and we start focusing on what's right and speaking it. Because the more you speak life into someone and give positive feedback, and look for those times they're doing something right and acknowledge it, say something, they will start to do more and more. And I think you said earlier how she just makes me want to become a better person. And I think it's because I'm always acknowledging him. I'm always bringing out all the good things he does.
You fill up his cup. You fill up his cup with a cup of Lauren.
Yes!
My cup is overflowing. And as I've said before, Sean, I was fortunate enough to marry a cheerleader, and she happens to be the most gorgeous cheerleader I've ever met. You guys,
this is what I want to know. When is the Todd and Lauren bus hitting the road? Because I think you should be filling stadiums and giving people heart and mindset of a championship couple talks. That's what I think.
Well,
I had to do it.
We just have to get all the marketing in place and all the trips planned.
That's for sure.
I'm a great marketer.
That's on our to-do list. It's coming, everybody. It's coming. We are going to be hitting the road. And, I've just come to realize, Sean, that I know that I have more days behind me than in front of me. And what I don't want is I don't want to leave this earth with regrets. I want to know that I touched and impacted and inspired as many lives as possible. I want to know the greatest gift was knowing that I found true love and I married the one.
Amen.
And that he loves me more than anyone could possibly. And, you know, every day is full for me because Todd is in it. I don't ever want to imagine my life without him. We always say that we're going to die in our sleep together holding hands because God would not ever separate us. And so we want to get out there and we want to touch lives, and with your help. And I just, oh my gosh, Kathleen, who I
love
just,
Kathleen. Producer Kathleen is the bomb.com, y'all.
I always tell Kathleen, if I would have had a daughter, I would pray that she would have been, Kathleen's my daughter.
She's amazing.
Oh my gosh. I just love that woman. And
I don't know if your daughter could ever be 6 foot.
I know well, maybe if we would have had one, because you're 6'2", but she's like 6 feet tall, but she's one of the greatest human beings I know. You got to surround yourself with great people.
You do.
I surround myself with great people like you and Todd and Kathleen and the whole Inspiring Champions team. And we don't want any clients. We want extraordinary clients.
Your mom, her mom's your height.
You're right. Mine or yours?
I told you we were going to have fun today.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know that the whole thing was going to crash for us to have fun. But we had fun.
Did you see how Satan jumped in and he's like, wow, this is getting too good. I gotta take them out.
But did you see how we weathered together? We wrestled it down. I had Kathleen got my back. Dre had my back. You guys were over there fighting. I was over here running the show. And we did it as a team. This is what we're talking about. This is what heart and mindset of a champion is. This is what Couple Lauren's all about. Is together we can do everything.
And we could do anything.
Anything.
Together,
everything.
We can change the world.
Yes.
We can change the world by helping to bring people higher. If you don't get up every day with the attitude, how can I level up today? How can I be a better person? Whose life can I make a difference in today? Who can I build up? Who can I edify? If you're not doing that every day, you're missing the greatest joy in life. That is where your greatest joy and satisfaction will come.
Yes. Real quick, before we get out of here, tell them, I think Champ Camp's coming up. Tell them about it.
Well, we got 2 coming up. We got the one here in San Diego where Lauren lives, and that's going to be August 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And that's where we transform lives and businesses. There is nothing like Champ Camp. And then we've got another one coming to Orlando, Florida. And that's going to be February 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Or I don't know. It's the last weekend of February. I think I got the dates wrong, but it's on our website. And so we'll be coming back to Orlando, Florida, where dreams do come true. And we're just going to be doing these Cup of Laurens with Shawnee. We're going to be starting the roundtable. You want to tell people about the roundtable, Shawnee? Because they're going to get excited about this.
Inside the roundtable it's really the best of Shawnee and Lauren, where you get to get our insider tips, tricks, and meet our friends that inspired us to be champions and going to help you to become legendary. I'm really excited about the Heart and Mindset Champion community. I'm excited about everything that Lauren and I are coming together to do. One of the things I heard, and I got to leave it with you today, I create champions. She inspires them. And when we come together, we make legends. So let us help you become legendary. I absolutely love her. I love you. We together love you. Todd and Lauren, thank you for letting us come into your home. Lauren, thank you for letting me take over your spot and host your show. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a part of the Inspiring Champions team. I love you. We're closing. Join us next week, next Friday, same time, same bad channel. Couple Lauren, she'll be hosting. I'll be sitting somewhere. We're out.
Thank you.
Look at George. Look at the left.